go into it fast, and then hit like a, slow you down as it goes. Yeah, slow you down. Because when you're coming out of a jump in a 4,000 pound truck, same thing here. So these are in a better geometry. When this goes into that crescent shape, this is made to, that's why they're at this angle, because that's the angle of the rotation of the swing arm. So it's gonna go right into the shock. Nobody wants to smoke a seal or a shaft. Seals have huge shafts.
That was a good rip.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Well, here we are, you know.
Yeah.
We're back. We had a really, really good time playing around in the parking lot and a little bit out on the AI-generated road in Mexico out in Mexico. That was a really good time. The bikes are phenomenal. I was very, very excited yesterday, and sometimes I feel like my excitement can be over the top and maybe not believable, but I'm very excited, and I want to say that my excitement was very real because I have honestly never ridden shocks on a Harley Davidson that I felt the suspension that much, that I felt like that much of an honest difference from what I went to this, and to how well the bike just handled. Like, I know you guys don't stunt ride, maybe some of you do that do it, and if you don't, it doesn't matter because you don't have to stunt ride. What we use it for is testing stuff, and there's not really a better way to test suspension than to do that type of shit, because Harley Davidsons are not made to do that type of stuff whatsoever. And when they can do it that well and that easily and that smoothly without any sway or wobble, it's very impressive. So I was really excited. I was still excited. I was excited last night. I wanted to keep riding. I want to ride my Dyna again. I haven't wanted to ride this thing really because it was just gutless and it was really hard to clutch up and it really pissed me off more than it did anything. But yesterday was easy and fun, and I'm real pumped. And I mean, that being said, we got Pete in the house. Pete just showed up.
Yeah, it's awesome to be here, Kruesi.
Oh yeah?
Yep, rolled in last night, and yeah. I'm really excited to be here. I'm excited that you guys are trying out our suspension, and I'm even happier that you like it so much.
I'm just looking at it. We got to see it first and kind of go through everything before we even tried it out. It just looked like a very quality product. I really liked everything, the way it looked, the way it was made, just the feel of it. It looked nice already. I thought it was going to be nice suspension already. But the difference, and I think honestly a lot of it pertains to the spring rate changeability.
Yes.
And not having to just preload the out of whatever spring you get. Because on almost everything we've always run, we're preloading them pretty heavy. And we're cranking everything to maximum just to get it to ride like we want it to, which you're riding on more of a coil bind than you are suspension at that point, I feel like. And this being able to run a heavier spring with a hell of a lot less preload, it allows the valving to do its job, and I could feel that happening. Like clutching a wheelie up, this is technically far stiffer than what I had before, but it hooks the tire up far better. I thought clutching a wheelie up, I was gonna have to hit it really hard because I got a firmer spring back there. And I gave it just a little whop like this to just see what it was gonna react, and then I was gonna try again, and it just went brr, and it came right up. I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Oh.
Didn't blow your neck out of it.
Thankful, like, oh, yes. Because, dude, this is what destroyed my neck. Years of just getting whiplashed and whiplashed.
15-inch T-bars up here.
I learned how to ride wheelies on this. Ah! And I'm doing a wheelie this high off the ground. You know? Like, I think I shot a calendar with you in like 2013 probably, and I was doing little wheelies on my white bike a long time ago. But man, and I was like, did you see that? And they were like, yeah. And then you see the pictures, you're like, that's embarrassing. But it just made everything a lot easier for me to ride. And that, I think, that's huge for me.
Yep. So, you know, you guys, for stunt riding, you definitely like a heavier spring. So what you guys do for what you do doesn't correlate to the average cat on the road, right?
No.
But that's the cool thing about the springs, is that we can get the spring right to let the valving do what it's supposed to do. So we can actually dial the suspension in.
Yep.
And we have a broader range of adjustment and more points within that, right? So you kind of touched on it earlier when you said, you guys may or may not be stunt riding or whatever, but you're right. This is how we prove that this is a good shock for everything, right? Extreme sports. Yep. That we've been involved in bagger racing, Bonneville, in stunt riding, in drag racing. I had specifically set out to find the most extreme sports within the Harley Davidson world, because I wanted to put the suspension to the test to prove that it was the best, right? And if it works for you guys, then it'll work for the average guy, right? And it'll work for a long time, and we can dial it in. So, the recommendations will be different, but the point is we can dial it in for a 120-pound gal riding on the road, or whatever, you guys stunt riding or racing, whatever. So,
240-pound gal guy, whatever wants to fit on there. It works out for everybody.
Whatever your pronouns may be.
Yes. And so, back to how good the suspension feels, I set this at the just base settings. We're in the middle of the compression and rebound. I'm in the middle of our basic preload. I'm very, very basic setting, and I can go farther. I can tune this in even better, and it felt better than a rear shock than I've had on my Dyna.
I was watching Trent yesterday, and I was like, I feel like it's a little bit too stiff. So, and I think I told you guys to start at 40, which would just be in the middle of the clickers and, pretty neutral. But he's only at I think we went from 40 down to 32. So he still has so much more range in that.
And going from that 40 to that 32, I felt that though, just those minimal bit of clicks.
There is a difference when you make an adjustment.
Yes.
So just to testify, every one of you that are watching, and you have suspension on your bike already, I want you to dial the compression or whatever you have on here all the way off, ride your bike, dial it all the way up, and see if you actually notice a difference. I don't care what brand you got, unless it's this, go out and see if you notice a difference. You might, but it's going to be minimal. The difference on this is extreme from top to bottom. When we took the spring off, we pressed it through and everything.
Yep.
That is an extreme difference. You can almost go from fully soft to fully lock almost. It's nice. And I'll go back to the mountain bike suspension. When you have open and closed, this almost feels like you can go from open to close all the way on it. I'm about to hit the rock garden.
Blow through it, But and then on the adjustment thing too, it's nice that it adjusts compression and rebound together. Because everybody focuses on, you got your compression. I got 60 clicks of compression, 60 clicks of rebound. That's really easy to up.
Yeah, how many of you know where to actually do with that?
Yeah.
Or what it actually does.
Exactly.
It's super easy to up. But it just kind of simplifies everything. And then there's the O-ring on the shaft where you could actually get a good sag reading instead of guessing where the middle of the eyelet is on both sides. You can actually get a mountain bike.
Especially for your guys too that are buying your sliders. Measuring sag on that is kind of weird, so the O-ring for that is...
Yeah, you're gonna guess where the middle of each bolt is every time. When that O-ring, you can just measure from the shock body to the O-ring.
Your travel percentage and then set it up from there. And going back to, I forgot what I was gonna say.
I wanna say too,
what were you talking about?
We recommend...
Oh, yes. So back to the simplicity of the adjustment for this. I got a lot of concussions. It's being both of them in one, you basically just have slow and fast. You want the suspension moving slow? Do you want it fast? Do you want to speed up the rebound, speed up the compression, slow it down, speed it up? That's all it boils down to. It's simplified, slower or faster. And then that's all you got to do to adjust it. If it feels like it's reacting out too fast, you slow it down. If it's coming down too fast, you slow it down. If it's too slow, you speed it up. It's a simple process that anyone out there could really dial these in themselves. Because if you've got separate compression and rebound and everything else, you got to know suspension at that point. You got to know what the you're doing really to to get that
You
extreme.
have all the clicks, but if you don't know what they're doing.
I think too, something to touch on is like, if you're going to support any brand, don't care if it's ours or whoever it is, but make sure you're supporting brands that are supporting your interests. So like, Pete has no business with a bike that Gino was riding yesterday, knows nothing about it, but Gino's like, oh, this is happening or whatever. And so Pete's like, where's your tools at? And so he's messing with his clickers on his front end and yeah, like, cause that's what he's interested in. He's like, this is what we're passionate about. So I just
About made him late for a date.
yeah. So I just wanted to touch on that because I think that's really important. It's not very common that you see people in the industry that are out in a parking lot with hoodlums like ourselves and trying to like help us figure it out because then we understand the product more. Yeah. The more we can work in any aspect of motorcycles, like Pete was saying, Bonneville, racing, stunt riding. The average guy, we sponsor a guy that does the Hoka Hay Challenge, where you ride from Florida to Alaska in 7 days. Like
that's hardcore.
It's hardcore. Like
They drug test you too.
yeah.
When you ride that far, I'm getting back on the bag. I don't care what anybody says.
Are you see the best in that patch? That fucker rides.
Yeah, they check for tinfoil on that.
It's $1 million payout. That's what it used to be.
It's I don't know what it is. It's to raise money for
Kids, special needs, autism, maybe. Kids. Anyway, oh, man. Can I say who it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian Ridgway. So Brian Ridgway is the rider. So follow him, or he can explain more about the money that they raise and what they do with it. But he is so passionate about distance riding. I talked to him earlier today. He just picked up a new road glide. He had rode Harley and he'd switched over to Indian, but his heart is with Harley, so he's going back.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I'm going to get it in California. I'm riding it to Arizona, back home, whatever. He would never ship it, or right?
Dude,
he rides so much that he wrecks often, so that's where the bike changes comes from. But when you ride 50,000 miles in a year or whatever he does,
I'd say the most dangerous riding is on highways and streets and that kind of shit. Yeah.
People all the time come to us like, oh, what you guys do is crazy. I'm like, yeah, but you're riding in Phoenix traffic. I'm far safer sliding sideways in a parking lot at 15 miles an hour than you are on the I-10. Like, believe that.
100%.
Yeah.
So we're spiraling there, but I just wanted to touch on that because I think that's really cool. And Pete even said, man, we were at Stunt Wars, and he's like, for how much it costs to have a King of the Baggers race team, I could freaking support every guy that has a bike in this whole place right now. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
He's like, that would be more fun for
more rewarding, right?
Yeah.
And with with Slide GP, we can sponsor the event, be the title sponsor. We can have riders in it. We can do all kinds of stuff for a fraction of the money we spent just trying to get one guy to win.
Yeah.
We can help a whole bunch of people.
We raced for a season and a half, and it was very, 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 very expensive. Yeah, like for us, a minimum, we were like 10 grand a race to like make everything happen and everything.
Mm-hmm.
People don't realize that how expensive it is, and it's racing is spend $1 million to make $2,
Right.
Yeah. But it's a good place to develop product and make everything happen, and you guys have developed a hell of a product, and I'm very excited to play with it some more. It's got me excited to ride my Dyna again, which you're coming back in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, somewhere around there. We're going to plan that out so we can have a nice day at the lot. I want to have a day at the lot with you and your guys' bikes, and then spend some time. Like, I'm not going to do any tuning on this whatsoever until we go have that lot day, because you can change the springs in the lot, parking lot, and I want to bring the springs out, and I want to play with it, each one, and run through each one of them and really test and see like the actual huge changes that we can make, and maybe the little minor changes we can make, and how far we can take this thing and get my old ass stunt riding again. Maybe I need another concussion, like I need another gold chain, but
Hey, it might fix you up.
maybe.
One more, just knock some things right into place. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it might be a good time to say that our suspension has a lifetime warranty on it.
Oh,
Okay?
that's nice. Yeah.
And providing it's not broken half from an accident or something, we're going to take care of that. And even if you're stunt riding, I don't care. I'm still going to stand behind that product.
Hell yeah.
Okay? No matter what you do with it. That's 100% made in the USA, warranted for life.
I dig it.
And also, when we do that, I want to film that range of clickers. I want to like set your clickers at 1, have you ride it and mess with it, and then set it at 80 and have you mess with it and ride it and show all that, because it's really cool to see. The first time I did it, I was like, holy cow, that's insane.
It is a drastic difference just pushing it through like its cycle and everything, and then to get it out there in a lot, you know, where we can actually like really get down and not worry about one of those AI generated cars in Mexico taking us out. But, right? Yeah.
So.
All riders are professionals in a closed course. But it's awesome. What do you guys got going on? What do you got coming out? Any new anything like that? What's the future hold for Nowoski?
Well, I know that we want to work with you to develop that Sportster stuff, right, Matt?
Yeah.
Right, Matt?
Yeah. Yeah. We definitely want to develop the Nightster with you guys. I think watching you and Gino ride these newer bikes last night, I kind of got me excited again about bikes, because I'm like, it's something new. And I also feel like the riding has got so competitive and close with everyone that like the next thing that's needed in order to keep pushing it is a newer platform. And so that's
still a
really
Harley
exciting.
Davidson-ish platform, you know, but the Nightster is just a whole new animal. I think there's going to be new tricks coming out of that thing in the style and way it rides. And it's come to the point where you can buy a new Nightster for what you're going to pay for this stock Dyna, this old early model Dyna. Like, maybe not where everyone's at in the country, but on the West Coast, you're not going to find a used Dyna in bad shape for under $7,500 to $12,000, you know, like it's astronomical. I used to pay $1,300 for Dynas back in the day because nobody wanted them, and I was buying them and having a great time. And now,
We've kind of blown through
thanks for
them
all the support, but you guys kind of ruined that for all of us.
Yeah, there's not very many good ones left to grab. And I just think too, that's such a great entry-level bike. It makes a decent amount of power out of the gate. It has good brakes. It has a lot of good things about it that I think a person getting into riding really needs. Yes. So if we can help make products for that bike and it gets someone's entry-level bike better and it gets them more into riding for the long run.
It's a very minimalist bike as far as what it needs. The suspension sucks on it. It's built to be low, and it was geared. They don't say this, but their marketing says it loud and clear that it was geared towards entry-level women riders. They kind of like marketed originally as like great for females, great for new riders. It makes 100 horsepower right out of the box and weighs 400 pounds. It's not honestly the most ideal first bike, you know, like it is a fucking monster. And if you just put a muffler and suspension on it, you've got something that will decimate all of your buddies on whatever else you got. And you know, like you can ride it like a dirt bike. It feels like a dirt bike. I jumped the out of mine quite a few times, and it does very well at it.
Yeah.
Which,
I think
man, we should build some
wanna-
suspension on one and maybe hit something big.
We should do that.
We have a spare set of forks that I was talking to you about. If you can convince Ryan to send you home with them.
Yeah, you guys can take them. I got a whole front end. I got a whole spare front end.
Yeah, we have some ideas. So that would be good if we had something.
Dude, what do you guys think? So Maddie rides a little freestyle. Used to.
It was an airbag.
It was an airbag. Yeah, Chase knows it doesn't count. I never said it counted, by the way. So I just want to throw that out there.
I think Canyon's long closed, but the track is still there. We could still maybe sneak ourselves into a motocross track and hit a little something. And we do have a set of knobbies
There's that big table that's right by that's still there.
on the shelf next door. Dude, they jump good. It jumps like a pit bike.
Yeah,
I jumped a quarter
Trent
pipe on
jumping
mine,
some
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk with the boss to see if all that is okay. But
Yes,
What do you guys
absolutely.
comment down below?
2 thumbs up.
Should we? This is in the future. This is a huge process to develop and create new suspension and everything. This isn't happening next week. This is like a long process. But comment down below. Let's hear a little vote on should we try and maybe big air a Nightster. Yes, I know Thrash and Supply hit some dirt jumps on theirs, and that was very cool. But I'm talking about.
I feel like this was a setup. I feel set
Is
up
Maddie
right
going to
now.
be piloting
I don't
this,
want to
or-
pilot it.
No?
You pilot it, yeah.
I'll out jump Trent. It'll be me.
As long as it's not me. I don't want to be put on the spot. I'm more of like a watch for
Yeah,
a
but
while.
you got
and
way
then-
more experience than both of us put together.
Yeah.
Come on, Matt.
We got Gino too, though.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, we could just send Gino.
Gino's young enough. He doesn't care about it.
Yeah. Gino,
Gino will pilot it.
big motocross kid. He'll swing it. So part of the job now. But yeah,
Or we build adventure bikes out of them.
I wanted
and-
to do that too, like mini Pan Ams out of it.
But like more dirt bike style, like it could get down a little bit more aggressive.
so we have been working on that for quite some time. We want to ride them to Mexico the back way, you
I
know,
could
like
get
maybe
down with
not across the border. We want to arrive into Mexico uninvited.
I could get down with that.
I think it's very, very doable and all that good stuff. Hey, bud.
Yeah, my hometown, like there's trails all over the place, and like from my old neighborhood, you can like on dirt, you can just go from like your house to the border, where like the fence ends.
That's some good testing.
That sounds fun.
Especially when you're under pressure and you might have to be accelerating faster than you're
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like,
Some
I've rode mine in the dirt, and it feels like you're on a 450 in the dirt. They feel really good. They're so light, and once they're moving forward, they just balance out really well. They kind of ride themselves. So if you had some knobbies, some big suspension, a skid plate to protect the gas tank that would get a hole blowing through it as soon as you hit a rock. But yeah, lots of things coming. If you guys got any suggestions or any ways that you would like to see us test out the suspension or just abuse it in any way, shape, or form, you can let us know, because we're going to be working with Nowoski from here on out, and we're very excited about it. We're very excited to work with a company that is willing to move forward on things. Like, there's a lot of great suspension companies out there. I honestly haven't rode one that feels like this, but there's a lot of good suspension companies out there, but a lot of them are kind of staying where they are, which is understandable. You already got your market, you already got your thing, you got your products, they sell, it is what it is, but there's new stuff coming out. Harley's making new stuff. Why aren't we making new stuff? So this is a moving forward kind of thing, and it's going to be awesome. I think we've got a whole lot of stuff in front of us. Mosquitoes. And it's going to be a good time. And we got a lot coming. And if you guys would like to see something, you know, holler at us. Holler at these guys. Go watch their YouTube. It's also pretty sick.
Ryan, I'm really, really excited for this. This has been a long time coming. I've been thinking about this day for a long time.
Hell yeah.
So, I mean, thank you for working with us. I'm proud to be working with you.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I think it's going to be awesome. Also, on a side note, I've known these two gentlemen for a very long time. Known Pete, we've known each other like since I worked, I think, with Nick. I met you back then. Yeah. And I've known Maddie forever, and it's a friendship, and I think that alone kind of means a whole lot more than just a partnership, you know, like we're working with people that we know and we're homies, and that's how we like to keep things, you know. If it's not fun, we're not doing it, straight up. Anything else?
I think that's a good note to end it on.
Yeah.
Yeah?
For the opportunity. Yeah.
Hey, man. KruesiOriginals.com. For every $5 you spend, it could enter you in a chance to win a motorcycle. Peace!